It's 3 in the morning, you're wide awake again, and you're lying there certain that your sleep is broken. It isn't. In the next 9 minutes, you will have the 6-step fix. And the biggest step is the exact opposite of what you've been trying. 6 steps. This is why people over 60 wake up at 3 a.m. almost on schedule. And the 6 changes research shows actually fix broken sleep. Real numbers. What to do in the first 20 minutes after you wake, when to stop drinking fluids, and a 1-hour fix hiding in your evening. And step 6 sounds backwards. It's also the most effective thing on this list. First, 60 seconds on what actually changed in your sleep, because it explains everything. In your 20s, almost 20% of your night was deep sleep, the heavy, dreamless kind. Researchers who tracked men across 5 decades found that by the 70s, deep sleep can fall to under 5%. And nearly all of what's left happens in the first half of the night. So by 3 in the morning, your brain has already spent its deep sleep, the pressure to stay asleep is nearly gone, and your morning hormones have started their pre-dawn climb. 3 switches, all flipping at the same hour. Your brain surfaces. Here's the part nobody tells you. Everyone does this. Younger sleepers wake just as often. They sink back under in seconds and remember none of it. So waking at 3 isn't the disorder. Staying awake is. One more piece. After 60, your body clock itself drifts earlier. Remember that for step 4. And before the steps, one honest thing about sleeping pills. The American Geriatric Society keeps a list of medications it says older adults should generally avoid, and standard prescription sleeping pills are on it, for everyone over 65. Their reason, in exchange for only minimal extra sleep, they raise the risk of falls, confusion, and car accidents, and a review of more than 800,000 older adults linked them to a 63% higher risk of fractures. If you're taking one now, do not stop on your own. Stopping suddenly can be dangerous. Ask your doctor whether a slow taper makes sense for you. This video is educational, not medical advice. And if your nights come with loud snoring and gasping, legs that crawl and fidget when you lie down, or a sadness that's moving alongside the bad sleep, see your doctor first, because those are treatable medical problems, not habit problems. For everyone else, 6 steps. Let's go. Step 1. Tonight, turn your clock around. The moment you see 3:07, the math starts. Only 4 hours left. Now 3.5. That arithmetic is a stress response, and stress hormones are chemically the opposite of sleep. Checking the time cannot help you fall back asleep. It can only give you a number to worry about. Phone face down too. This step costs nothing, and it works from the first night. Step 2. The 20-minute rule. If you've been awake for what feels like 20 minutes, don't lie there and fight it. Get up, go to another room, and do something quiet and boring in low light. A dull book, a quiet chair. No phone, no television, no bright kitchen light. And notice, 20 minutes is a feeling, not a measurement. You already turned the clock around, so estimate. Close enough is good enough. The moment you feel sleepy, not tired, sleepy, go back to bed. And if you wake again an hour later, same rule, as many times as it takes. Here's why this works. Lie awake frustrated in bed night after night, and your brain quietly learns that bed is where frustration happens. Sleep researchers have used this rule since the 1970s to break that link and reteach the brain that bed means sleep. It feels wrong the first week. It works anyway. Step 3. Shut off the 3 a.m. bathroom alarm. More than half of everyone over 60 wakes at least once a night to use the bathroom. So if that's your trigger, you have company. The fix is timing, not thirst. Drink normally all day, then taper off after about 6 in the evening. Last coffee by noon. Past 60, caffeine hangs around in your system hours longer than it used to. And the honest one, alcohol. A drink makes you fall asleep faster. Then it fragments the second half of your night. That nightcap is often the 3 a.m. wake, wearing a disguise. If your ankles swell by evening, put your legs up for an hour in the late afternoon. Fluid that pools in your legs all day moves back into circulation when you finally lie flat and lands in your bladder at 3 in the morning. An hour with your feet up moves that traffic to the daytime instead. And if you take a water pill, ask your doctor about the timing. Never adjust it yourself. Now, the next 2 steps are where this gets counterintuitive. And step 6 is still the strangest one. Step 4. Move your bright light to the evening. You've heard the standard advice: get bright morning sunlight. For a 25-year-old who can't fall asleep before 2, that's right. For you, it's backwards. Remember your body clock, drifting earlier every year? Morning light pushes it earlier still. Evening light nudges it later, which is the direction you need. In a clinical trial, older adults with this exact problem sat in bright light for a couple of hours in the evening, between 7 and 9 p.m. And their nighttime wakefulness dropped by about a full hour. An hour of broken sleep fixed by light. So, after dinner, get outside while the light is still strong, or sit by the brightest window in the house. A cloudy evening still counts. Even an overcast sky is many times brighter than your living room. Then flip it. In the last hour before bed, dim the house. Bright light late in that final hour cancels the work you just did. Step 5. Pick one wake-up time and hold it 7 days a week. Same time after good night. Same time after a terrible one. Because here's what sleeping in actually does. It borrows tomorrow night's sleep pressure and spins it on this morning. Sleep in until 9 after a rough night, and by 10 that evening you're not sleepy. So you lie awake, wake at 3, and the wheel turns another full circle. The fixed wake time is the anchor that stops the wheel. Every other step leans on this one. What about naps? You don't have to give them up. Keep them short, around 20 minutes, and keep them before 2 in the afternoon. A late or long nap eats the very sleep pressure you're trying to save for tonight. Step 6. Spend less time in bed. I know. Stay with me, because this is the strongest step in the entire list. If you're in bed 9 hours, but you're only asleep 6.5, those extra 2.5 hours are exactly where the 3 a.m. waking lives. When researchers compared every piece of the gold standard insomnia treatment, the one every major medical body now recommends before pills, restricting time in bed came out as the single most effective ingredient. Here's the senior safe version. Keep your fixed wake time and move your bedtime later, so your time in bed is about your actual sleep plus half an hour. Never cut below 6 hours. Say you wake at 6:30 and you honestly sleep about 6.5 hours. 6.5 plus half an hour is 7, so your new bedtime is 11:30. Yes, that means staying up past the sleepy spell at 10. That first week takes some grit. Sleep through for a week, and you've earned 15 minutes back. Wake again tonight, and you hold. A shorter night that holds together beats a long night shattered at 3. Then you grow the night back, 15 minutes at a time. So here's your one action tonight. Not all 6. 1. Turn the clock around. It costs nothing, it takes 3 seconds, and it removes the number that starts the panic. And one last thing to take back to bed with you. Before electric light, people slept in 2 shifts, and historians can prove it. Diaries and court records for centuries mention first sleep and second sleep, an hour of quiet wakefulness in the middle of the night, where people prayed, talked, and then slept again. Nobody panicked because nobody called it broken. Your body still remembers how to do this. Waking at 3 was never the problem. The fight you've been having with it was, and tonight you can stop fighting.